What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. I do new car, truck, SUV reviews on YouTube, and today we are in the new 2022 Mercedes Benz GLC 300 Coupe, courtesy of Mercedes Benz of Hagerstown in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so we are in this one today because, in my personal opinion at least, this is a much better looking vehicle than the standard GLC SUV. Not only that, there is one new color for the 2022 model year, which of course I'll be touching on, and plenty of new standard features for the 2022 GLC Coupe as well. And so ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all of that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so when it comes to pricing for the 2022 GLC 300 Coupe, MSRP will start at $52,500. Powering the beast is a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, putting out 255 horsepower at 5,800 RPM, 273 pound-feet of torque coming in at 1,300 RPM, power sent to all 4 wheels. This is an all-wheel drive system after all, through a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters, which of course we will be testing out here in a little bit. 0 to 60 time is going to come in at approximately 6.2 seconds. Top speed 135 miles per hour in case you were interested, and MPG numbers coming in at 21 in the city, 27 on the highway, taking premium unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration or paddle shifter test here in the GLC 300 Coupe, they would mention drive modes. It's labeled dynamic select. That little toggle switch is located just to the left of the touchpad controller, and those drive modes will include things like eco, comfort, sport, sport plus, and individual, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, steering sensitivity, and the eco start stop system then as well. And so now having got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's put this thing to the test. Let's go ahead and find a straightaway, and let's test out the paddle shifters and acceleration here all at once, and I'm going to see how quickly the paddle shifters react, and also see how quickly we can get this thing here up to speed. All right, you guys, we are in Sport Plus driving mode from a standstill in 3, 2, 1. I shifted early, it was my fault. It gets up to speed so quickly. It's like you don't even realize you're going as fast as you're going. The paddle shifters, there was a slight delay to them, so that's why I was kind of waiting a little bit longer, because I wanted to keep testing that out. But yeah, there is a slight delay, which is kind of weird because usually Mercedes-Benz absolutely crushes it with their paddle shifter reaction times. But I did have it in Sport Plus driving mode. Acceleration was definitely plenty fine. Absolutely not going to have any issues emerging onto the highway when it comes to that acceleration for sure. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 13.5-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 12.6-inch solid rear discs. As far as that braking feel goes, it's not bad. I actually really like it. It's kind of on the firmer side of things, so braking feel feels wonderful here in the GLC 300 Coupe. Definitely no issues there. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an independent 4-link front suspension. In the back, 5-arm multi-link rear design. Also though, an adaptive damping suspension. So let me go ahead and put it back to comfort mode here. And overall, as far as ride quality goes, it's been absolutely wonderful, and that's due in part because of that adaptive suspension, because essentially what that does is it monitors each shock absorber individually, not only adjusting to the road imperfections, but also tightening up the suspension during heavy cornering, giving you the best of both worlds. So adaptive suspensions these days are really 100% where it's at if you want a smoother ride and you also want better handling at the same time. So ride quality's been perfectly fine. As far as steering feel goes, it's excellent. Even in comfort driving mode here, it still leans on the heavier side of things. It's got excellent feedback to it. But in that Sport and Sport Plus driving mode, it definitely changes up to the firmer side, which I actually like even better. So steering feel is 100% on point here in this thing. Touching on cabin noise, I'm actually going 60 miles per hour right now. There isn't any wind noise whatsoever. A little bit of road noise, but when it comes to wind noise, this thing is super quiet. Not as quiet as the Maybach or the S-Class or anything like that, but still super quiet, so no issues there either. Touching on visibility, obviously this is going to be the section of the review where it's a little bit of room for improvement, but then again, it's kind of, you already know what you're going to get when you get this shape of an SUV, it's going to sacrifice visibility. If you did want a little more added visibility, just go with that standard GLC SUV as opposed to the coupe version, because that one's going to give you better visibility. But having said that, I don't know, I kind of feel like the shape of this thing is worth it. I can see fine out the back. It's probably something that you would easily get used to, but I did want to mention visibility is obviously not going to be the best because of its shape. Rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard on this one though, and also if you wanted a head-up display, that is available for an additional $1,100 there. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2022 Mercedes Benz GLC 300 Coupe. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2022 Mercedes Benz GLC 300 Coupe, finished in polar white. In case anybody was curious of our exterior color name, let's go ahead and start with the new color for the 2022 model year, which is going to be Starling Blue Metallic if you wanted the new, updatest, and greatest color when it comes to the GLC. Then let's go ahead and start up front. Up front, you will find that diamond block front grille in typical Mercedes fashion. There is an illuminated star available for an additional $500 if you wanted to go that route. You also can find some chrome accents on the lower portion of that front grille. I think you guys can see that. To the sides though, LED headlights do come standard, of course, with LED daytime running lights. They will come with the automatic feature, of course, and newly standard for 2022, automatic high beams as well. What that is when you have your high beams on, it senses a vehicle coming in the opposite direction. It's going to automatically then dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to bump it back up to high beams. So kind of like automatic windshield wipers, just one less thing you got to worry about there. So that's always nice. But that pretty much rounds out the front end of the GLC Coupe here. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side. And so now, since we are around to the side of this one, satin chrome window surrounds do come standard. You will find some chrome accents on those door handles then as well. Rear privacy glass, of course, coming standard as well. Taking a look then at the side mirrors, body colored power adjustable side mirrors do come standard. They will be heated with LED integrated turn signals, and they will actually be power folding then as well, which is pretty impressive. You don't always get that, even on luxury vehicles, so that's pretty cool. Taking a look down then at the wheel setup, 19-inch 5-spoke alloys coming standard. However, there are several 20-inch wheel designs available if you wanted to go that route, but pretty much rounds out the side profile here. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. All right, so now since we are around back, first thing I'm noticing here, if you guys could see, typically when we get around back, the first thing I mention is a shark fin antenna, but look how low profile this antenna is on the top. It's not sticking up like barely, like a 1/10 of an inch or something. It's so low profile, so it's kind of interesting, and I wanted to mention that. You do have some chrome accents just above the taillights there. These chrome accents continue down to the lower portion of the rear bumper as well. LED taillights, by the way, do come standard as expected here, so a little added illumination at night. And just below it all, you will find a nice black rear diffuser between the two exhaust outlets there, and by the way, integrated dual chrome exhaust outlets. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. Alright, so now since we are around to the back of the GLC Coupe, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a hands-free power tailgate coming standard, so that is definitely very nice, meaning you can simply just kick your foot underneath and it will open up. There is actually a button on the key fob, there's a button on the tailgate itself, and the button on the driver's door then as well, so plenty of different options there. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 17.6 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there's actually a couple little buttons back in that cargo area. Simply just hit them and the rear seats are going to fold down for you, bumping that up to 49.4 cubic feet. Also found in that cargo area, of course, you will find some cargo lighting. There is a 12-volt power outlet. There's a side cargo net to the left side there. There is some chrome-plated tie-down anchors, which is pretty cool. Got a couple of grocery bag hooks. There's a cargo cover, and if you lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you're actually going to find a spare tire, which I personally prefer as opposed to the fix-a-flat, but also surrounding that spare tire, a good bit of in-floor storage if you wanted to use it for that particular option then as well. But then making our way up to the rear legroom, that is going to come in at 37.2 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I have back there. Rear ventilation, of course, does come standard. There are 2 phone charging ports and a 12-volt power outlet just below that rear ventilation. There is also a rear center armrest with cup holders, and there's actually a little button. If you press that, there's a little tablet holder within the center armrest as well, which is pretty cool. And if you really wanted to spoil the rear passengers, there are heated rear seats available for an additional $580 if you wanted to go that route. But then making our way up to the front seats, power adjustable front seats with 4-way power lumbar do come standard. Memory settings for up to 3 different drivers can be found on the driver's side door, also coming standard. Heated front seats, ventilated front seats actually can be added for $450 if you wanted that. Mercedes Benz Tex upholstery does come standard. However, if you wanted full leather, that goes for $1,620 if you wanted to go that route. One more thing I wanted to mention, because Mercedes-Benz does this and not many other manufacturers at all do this, is you can actually get memory settings for the passenger seat that goes for $350. And again, that's going to be for up to 3 different passengers, which is kind of cool if you switch off and on between drivers. So I really like that. Overall, seats were plenty comfortable as expected with the lumbar support and all the different ways you can adjust them basically. But then take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. It is power tilt and telescoping, by the way. Leather wrapped, and you can get a heated steering wheel for an additional $250. Then making our way to the startup, let me start by showing you guys the key here. Essentially, all of your buttons are on one side of the key. You got lock, unlock, and that button to pop the rear tailgate there. But essentially, it is all keyless entry with a push button start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just by the driver's right knee. It's a bit that once started up, analog gauges do come standard. However, there is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that is available that goes for $750. We do have that option today, and that is pretty cool because that gives you the ability to adjust between a bunch of different loadouts, so you can make the gauges look completely different basically, which I personally love. And of course, you got your basics up there, like how many miles you have left until you hit empty. There's a digital speedometer, outside temperature, pretty much everything you could possibly want on the digital portion then of the gauges. But then making our way to overall interior quality, there is a power sunroof that does come standard, auto dimming rear view mirror with garage door openers for up to 3 different garage doors found on the bottom portion of that frameless rear view mirror, by the way, which is pretty cool. Dual zone climate control coming standard. There are 64 colors of ambient lighting, which Mercedes-Benz always does an extremely good job at as far as illumination goes and the placement of that. Wireless phone charger goes for $200 if you wanted to go that route, and there are plenty of different wood trims available as well. We do have one of those matte texturized wood trims here today surrounding the air vents and the center touchpad controller and the exterior, the cup holders, all that fun stuff. So that is definitely pretty nice. Just in front of that touchpad controller, you can find dual cup holders. There's a 12-volt power outlet within the center armrest. A decent amount of storage there. There's actually an additional 2 phone charging ports in there as well. But overall, interior quality is absolutely wonderful, as Mercedes-Benz has come to be known for after all. So definitely very nice. But so then making our way to the infotainment screen, 10.25-inch color touchscreen display does come standard. Of course, like I said, it is touchscreen. You got the touchpad controller and buttons, and then there's also that option to say, hey, Mercedes, and you can essentially tell it what to do from there. Bluetooth and audio streaming does come standard. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, factory navigation system though, also coming standard, which is pretty cool. Themes is always one of my favorite sections with Mercedes-Benz. Essentially, that completely changes everything about your experience, from ambient lighting to climate control to pretty much everything, from ambient lighting to the color of the gauges to a bunch of whole different other stuff as well. So I always find that pretty cool. You could change the themes between experience, efficiency, lounge, standard, all kinds of different themes, and I love how it changes the gauges. That makes it so cool. But anyways, you can also of course check out your radio information up there, and so 6 speakers are going to come standard on this one. However, there is an optional 13 speaker Burmester sound system with 590 watts that goes for $850 if you wanted to go that route. We do not have that particular sound system with us here today. We actually got the 6 speaker one. So let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Probably probably the best 6-speaker sound system I've ever heard, quite honestly. It didn't sound like 6 speakers. It sounded like an 8 or a 10-speaker sound system or something like that. The bass was plenty, loudness, even the clarity. That was an excellent sound system without it being an upgraded sound system. I will definitely put it that way. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen is when you do put the GLC Coupe in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard, but also a surround view monitor there to the left coming standard as well, and a bunch of different views on the right as well. So overall, as always, that is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, front side carrying airbags do come standard, a driver's knee airbag up front as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, active brake assist, Mercedes Benz emergency call service, meaning if you get in an accident, the vehicle's going to talk to you and ask you if you need an ambulance or something like that, which is pretty cool. Blind spot assist with exit warning, attention assist, crosswind assist, Parktronic with active parking assist, meaning it's going to park itself, rear cross traffic alert as well then. And then there is a driver assistance package that goes for $1,700, which includes adaptive cruise control, active steering assist, evasive steering assist, active brake assist with cross traffic function, and plenty of other things as well actually. But overall, when it comes to my final thoughts, very good looking SUV without a doubt, excellent ambient lighting. I love the digital gauges where you can completely customize the look of them. Great driving dynamics, as Mercedes-Benz has always been known for. The only constructive criticism, and really if you're looking for this vehicle, you don't really care, is going to be the rear visibility, because obviously with the shape, it's not going to be 100%. But anyways, you guys already knew that, and that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media if you want to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews, because that is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.